my name's Kirsten and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the 100. Again, yes, I love the 100 and I really enjoy reviewing it and recapping it here on my channel. So I think I'm going to continue doing that every other episode or so, like I've been doing for a while. If you've been waiting for a video like I used to post on my channel, I will be posting some of those soon. Not everything on this channel is now about the 100. It's just pretty much been all I can talk about lately. So stick around if you don't like the 100 for future videos. But if you do like the 100, let's talk about it. Season 3, episode 13 was entitled Join or Die. It was a really intense episode. There was a lot that happened. And in order to save time and talk about this really quickly, I think I'm just gonna like bullet point things that happened in this episode because I'm really trying to learn how to talk about the show in shorter videos because the videos that I film are really long. So just a disclaimer as I put on all of these videos, if you have not seen the 100 season 3 episode 13, I wouldn't watch this video unless you don't mind it being spoiled. So let's start talking about the show. So the title of this episode is Join or Die, and that's pretty much exactly what's happening in Polis. Ontori is now under Allie's command, and the people follow Ontori because she's their commander. So pretty much anyone who is loyal to the commander is going to do exactly what the commander says. So Allie, working through Ontori, is having everybody take the chip. And so pretty much everybody in Polis, all of those grounders, are now chipped and are part of Allie 1.0 and her like little AI brigade or band or whatever you want to call them. Cult. Let's call them a cult because that's what they are. Jaha's creepy Allie cult. That's what they're all a part of now. And so there's a small group of people who are refusing to take the key to the City of Light. And so they are all in like a little grounder jail. And when Pike comes and he refuses to take the chip, they put him with like the General Pop. And we find out that Indra and Murphy are amongst all of the grounders that are rebelling against Allie, and then Pike is with them. And then we have Kane, who's also rebelling against them, but they believe he has special knowledge and that he doesn't know that Abby has been chipped, so they think that they're gonna trick him. So they separate Kane from all of the General Pop prisoners. So that's pretty much it that's going on in Polis in general. We'll come back to the people in Polis. So this episode also had flashbacks, which are like my favorite thing in the entire world. I love flashbacks. I love them so much. Well, not in every show, but like in this show, I love flashbacks. And it kind of seemed like the major reason for these flashbacks were to show the relationship of Pike and all the delinquents, and most importantly, Pike and Murphy. Pike was, you know, the like earth skills teacher, and they had him teaching all of the delinquents, not all of them for some reason, but most of the delinquents that went down in the original 100, they had him teaching them earth skills because they were gonna need them, but they didn't tell them why. Yada yada. You saw the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So Murphy's that kid that everybody hates in school that's just like, I don't want to learn. I'm too cool for school. Yada, yada, yada. That kid in class is annoying. Just so you know, if you're that kid in class, no one likes you. You're the most annoying kid in school. Can you just sit there and learn so that we can all just learn things? Thanks, bye. Anyway, so Pike and Murphy butt heads. Pike beats the shit out of Murphy, which is horrible. And then they all fight back. So essentially Pike's like, look, I taught you a lesson. You're gonna fight back. You need to learn how to fight for your life. So we pretty much learned that Pike has been a kill or be killed kind of guy, even before he needed to kill or be killed to survive. So that's pretty much just who Pike has always been. So, you know, deep down inside, I think Pike was always a bad guy. He's a pretty two-dimensional character. Maybe he's not. Maybe some people see that he's not a two-dimensional character, but for me, he's a pretty two-dimensional character. And then the other thing about the flashbacks are that we got to see plenty of the delinquents that have already died, season 1 and season 2. It gave me a lot of feels for the original cast, and I like really miss them, and I really miss Clark's blue jacket. It's so much more practical than her stupid like chain long jacket. Like, no, the jacket, the grounder clothes that you're wearing are very impractical. Can you please just put your blue jacket back on? I just want your blue jacket back. Please, 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 Clark, and wash your hair. This is how I feel about the show right now. Lots of opinions on the way Clark dresses. I just want baby Clark back, okay guys? I love who she is now on the outside, on the inside, but on the outside, I just want baby girl back, okay guys? Okay. Okay, so now that we've covered Pike and Murphy's relationship, we can talk about Indra trying to kill Pike. So Indra pretty much like escapes her restraints, and she starts giving Pike like the death of 300 cuts because he killed 300 grounders. Except technically, Indra, he only killed 299 in that little battle because you're still alive. But anyway, yeah, so she's like slicing him up, and then we leave them for a while, and we come back, and she's just about to kill him. So I'm assuming she's sliced him up 300 times. She's cut him 300 times. And then Murphy's just like, stop killing him. You can't kill him because we need him. There are very few of us and a whole bunch of crazy Allies who can't feel any pain. So you can't kill Pike because Pike's strong and we could use him in the battle against Allie. And so Indra doesn't kill him because another grounder in the cell is like, Indra, Murphy's right, basically, but she didn't say those words. And this is the first time Murphy's even seen Pike in this cell with all the other prisoners. And Murphy obviously hates Pike for what he did to him on the Ark. And so he didn't save him because he liked him. He saved him because Murphy does what he does in order to save his own life. So he knew with Pike around, there was more of a chance of Murphy surviving, not as an AI. And then lastly in Paulus, all we really have to talk about is the fact that Cain saw right through crazy Allie Abby. And then they nailed him to a cross like Jesus. And they pretty much forced him to take the chip the same way they forced Abby to take the chip, by threatening someone he loves life. So with Abby, they threatened Raven's life, and with Cain, they threatened Abby's life. So now Cain is on Allie's side, and that's not good. It's not good at all. So now that we're done in Paulus, we can start talking about Octavia, Jasper, Bellamy, and Clarke. They're all following Lincoln's map to try to find Luna. They do find where Luna is supposed to be on the map, and Octavia finally loses it, and she like goes over to the rocks and she screams like an animal. Like, she screams like some crazy creature, like as if she was one of those grounders that were like eating people in season 2. Okay guys, she screams like a crazy person because Luna's not there. So Octavia's kind of freaking out because nothing's going right and her life's kind of pretty shitty right now. So they build a fire for the night because they're going to camp there, and then Jasper throws in some what looks like pine to me, and it turns the fire green, and then Octavia opens Lincoln's journal, finds the same things, throws it in the fire, and realizes that they're supposed to make a signal fire to get Luna to them in order to get safe passage. But what also happens between all of them is Bellamy and Octavia finally like try to speak. So Bellamy's just like, when are you going to forgive me? Are you ever going to forgive me? And she's pretty much like, I don't know if I could ever forgive you because you're the reason that Lincoln's dead. And I'm glad that Bellamy stood up for himself, and he's like, I came to you, and if you trusted me, maybe Lincoln wouldn't be dead. He didn't say those exact words, but you know, pretty much. And like, that's what I've been thinking too. Like, if she had trusted Bellamy, Lincoln probably wouldn't have died. But honestly, he wasn't the most trustworthy person at the time. There were reasons not to trust him. There were reasons to trust him. Lincoln died, but I don't personally see that as Bellamy's fault. And Octavia is grieving and really upset at her brother, so she's obviously going to blame him. People always get blamed when somebody dies. At least she's not really blaming herself, I guess. I don't really know. But that relationship's pretty torn up, and Bellamy walks away, and he just goes and stands on the shore by himself for a pretty long time. Let's talk a little bit about the Bellamy and Clarke heart-to-heart. That was the best scene of this episode. It's actually probably the best scene in the last few episodes. I was in love with it. It was so good. They basically forgive each other for everything that they've done in their time apart because that was in the way of them moving forward. And so Bellamy basically says, like, I don't want to be angry with you anymore. And Clarke is basically like, Lincoln's blood is not on your hands. Though you have blood on your hands, it's not Lincoln's. I trust you. We're going to make it through this together. And it's like a good old-fashioned Bellamy and Clarke, and I love it so much. And it reminds me of like the first time they really became friends after they almost died, when they were all drugged on those weird beans nuts that they ate. Does anyone remember what I'm talking about? Season 1, the best. Oh my god, guys, I'm freaking out. Anyway, So they basically forgive each other for everything that they've done in their time apart, and I am so glad because Bellamy and Clark are their best selves when they're working together because they balance each other out. It's like yin and yang. They take the bad parts of each other and they counteract it. It's kind of like how the government is supposed to work when there's like checks and balances. That doesn't actually happen in our government, but it happens with Bellamy and Clark. When they're together, their horrible decisions get nixed out and they create good decisions together. So I'm just like so happy that Bellamy and Clark are a team again. Yes, I'm excited, and that was like probably the best hug I've seen in forever. I love hugs. Like, people are all about like kisses and makeout scenes and like, you know, past that, but I love a hug. I love hugs so much, guys. Like, I don't think you realize that I actually really love hugs. Like, I love to see them, and that was such a good embrace, and they like nuzzled, and it was just so much trust and like respect and like love for each other. Not like I'm in love with you love, but like camaraderie. I just loved it, guys. I'm still excited about the hug. Like, I can't even explain to you how much I love the hug. I love the hug. The last thing we have to talk about is Luna and the Boat Clan. So I've named the Boat Clan Sneaky Water Sniper Grounders because that's exactly what they are. In the middle of this beautiful hug, we just see all these sneaky water sniper grounders come up with their bows and arrows, and then like they stop hugging, and the second they're done hugging, there's like super dry grounders, which I don't know how they were dry, that like to Clark and Bellamy, and then like gagged them, which honestly, where are they getting all these gags? And then they go over and they ambush Octavia and Jasper, and then Octavia speaks the first phrase that Lincoln ever spoke to her. My name is Octavia, the Sky People, and I seek safe passage. She tells them that they're Lincoln's friends, and then they give them all this green liquid and they all pass out. And they take them to the middle of the ocean on an oil rig, which is apparently where the Boat Clan lives, which I've been waiting since like maybe season 2, whenever, or maybe just the very beginning of this season. I don't remember when this title sequence, the opening credits, like existed, but they've had this thing, this oil rig out in the middle of the water, and I've always been wondering, when is this oil rig gonna come into play? And guess what, guys? It just came into play. So yeah, that's where the Sneaky Sniper Grounders, also known as the Boat Clan, live. And that is where Luna is. So they all wake up in this giant shipping container, and like in my head, I'm like, are they on a giant boat? Because like, you know, the shipping container boats, like maybe there's one out there, or maybe they're like in a dock area where a shipping container is, because like that's what I think of when I think of shipping containers. But then I was like, these people are from space, they don't even know what a shipping container is, Kirsten. So it's not even relevant to the fact that they're in a shipping container, because they don't know what that is. Anyway, they wake up and they realize that like all their weapons and stuff have been taken, but the flame has not been taken from Clark. And then they meet Luna, and they basically tell her that she's the only thing they have left, that Lexa's spirit has chosen her to be the next commander. And surprise, surprise, also known as no surprise at all, Luna's like, I don't want to be the next commander, and then she leaves. And then they all realize that they're on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, which honestly they probably don't realize it's an oil rig, but they all realize that they're out in the middle of the ocean, and that's the end of the episode. Finn, it was great, guys. It was beautiful. I'm sorry that I'm yelling at you. So that was this week's episode. It was absolutely amazing, if you ask me. Maybe because 13 is my lucky number. Maybe because that is my birthday. Maybe because it was just an amazing episode, but probably, most definitely, because of the reuniting of Clark and Bellamy, because my dream team is back together and I'm so happy. Okay, I'm gonna go so this video isn't 77 million years long, but I hope you guys liked this. So I love you guys. I'll see you in like 2 weeks maybe for a review. If the episode is really good next week, I'll see you next week for a review. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Love you guys. Bye. But I love a hug. I love hugs. I love hugs so much. Like, I'm a hugger. Only if I like you. Only if we're friends. But I love hugs so much, guys. I just love them.